All right, guys, so you received your weavings back looking like this. I got them started for you. So I'm not going to show you guys how to do this part. If you ever wanted to redo this again, you absolutely could. And you would just go to YouTube, search up circle weaving. You could do it with a paper plate. So paper plate, circle weaving, and you should be able to learn how to do this part. But I'm just gonna go ahead and show you guys how to do this part here. This is the part that's gonna go around and around and around to make a really cool design with your weaving. So when I let it off, you guys should have a string that's coming out from your piece with nowhere to go. Some are shorter, some are longer. This is the string that you are going to be weaving around with. These little strings here, you want to make sure that you are going over one and under one, over one and under one, and that's the whole thing, just a pattern, over one, under one. And you want to make sure that you're going counterclockwise. So I started all of yours counterclockwise. So not this way, but this way. And you can kind of see it's already kind of starting to go that way. So I left you guys off. I started off the weaving for you. So your job right now is just to kind of finish that up. You can change colors right away if you want to, or you can change colors later. I'll show you how to change colors in a second here. And then you can use your fingers for this. So I know we had needles in class. You can just straight up use your hands for this. So I'll show you that first, and then I'll show you how to use a needle if you want to, or you can even like tie it onto like a pencil or something small if you don't have a needle. But just with the fingers here, I'm gonna show you. So your first job is to figure out where you left off, or where I left off when I started these for you. So if I take this empty string here, this loose string, and I pull it up, I can see it's lifting up this one right here. So that means that's the last one. This right here is the last one I went under. So that means I have to go over this one and under this one. It's because you do every other. So again, I went under that one, so over and under. So I'm gonna grab the end of my string. Mine's pretty long here. And again, I went under that one, so I'm gonna go over this one and under this one. Just like that. And I'm gonna keep doing that pattern. Over one, under one. Over this one, under this one. Over this one, under this one. And I'm gonna do that about halfway around. I can grab it. So again, over, under. And I'm about halfway around, so then what I'm gonna do once I'm about halfway is just pull everything tight so they can see this is very loose. I have all this empty string here. I'm gonna pull it until all of the string is in the middle. So you can see it's getting closer here. And when you pull it to the middle, you don't wanna pull it very tight because you don't want it to be like really squished up. Pull it just tight enough that it's gonna touch. Right here is still too loose. Some kids will leave it like this and then they have a whole mess when it comes to weaving around. So make sure you pull it till it's snug in the center like that, and then stop. Don't use all your muscles to pull it hard. Then I'm gonna take the end of my string and just keep weaving. So here's the end of my string. I'm gonna check where I left off so I can pull this up. You can see I went under this string. So that means I have to go over this one and under this one. So over one, under one, over one, under one. And you'll notice that I am weaving on the outside edge of this. So what I mean by that is, here, let me pull this in so you can see. Pulling my string tight, pulling it snug, cool. I'm weaving way out here on the edges because inside here is a little bit more confusing. It's harder to get your fingers in those little spots, but out here they're way more spaced out and it's clear which one comes next. So I'm staying out here as I weave and then just pulling it to the center. So don't try and get in here. It'd be easy to accidentally skip one, and if you skip one, it does kind of mess up the whole pattern here. So that's how you do that. You keep going until you like the size of the shape or the size of this color here, and then you can switch colors. I'm going to show you, before I show you how to switch colors, I'm going to show you how to use the needle. So if you have a needle at home, it needs to be one that has a really big opening, a big eye. You're just going to put that through your string. All right, and then once you have it through your string, just leave like a little tail like this. You can tie it if you want to, keeps it easier from falling out, but just like a long enough string that it's not gonna fall out. And then you can use the needle to do the same weaving that you were just doing with your fingers if you have one. Just makes it a little bit quicker. So again, I'll check, I was underneath this one last, so I have to go over and under. So this just kind of makes it easy to go over and under a couple of them without having to do all that individual work with your fingers. So again, over one, under one, over one, under one, just a little bit quicker. And like I said, you could tie your string onto like a little small pencil, a small stick, something that's small to help do this too. But again, you can still just do fingers if you don't have any of those tools. So let's say I like this, I wanted to change it to a new color. I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to do that. So in your little baggies that you guys got, you have all different color strings options to choose from. You can choose any of these. I'm gonna go with some pink. And then what you need to do first is cut off the excess string if you have any excess. So right now I've got a whole lot of extra string and I don't need all that for tying. So when I cut it, I want to leave enough space to tie it. Some kids will cut it right here and then they have no space to tie it. So I would cut it about there, leave like a good amount at the edge of it just so you have room to get everything tied. So I'm gonna go ahead and snip it right about there. That should be good. And now I'm gonna tie my new string to this. So here's my new string. This is pink. Kind of look the same on here, but it's pink. So what I'm gonna do, like you can tie this any way you want to, but I think the best way to tie it without it coming undone as you weave is to tie it like this. So I'm gonna put the two ends together. So here's my two ends of the strings, and I'm going to make a loop out of these two ends. So I'm gonna grab the top, make a loop. So I'm gonna do that by folding it down and across. So again, here's my two pieces together. I grabbed the top, made a loop, and I'm just gonna tuck it behind that loop. So tuck those ends behind the loop and then pull them together. And you can pull them really close now to the weaving. So your knot is down there. And now you've got your knot. And that way, just like once you pull it while you're weaving, it won't come apart as easy as like a regular knot. And then you can go ahead and cut off these little extra pieces. So I'm just gonna cut off this tail pretty close to the knot. It's okay if the knot still has some strings because we can hide that as we weave. And then I'm gonna go ahead and just take the end of this new piece and start weaving with it. And it might take a little bit for this orange to finish out before the pink incorporates, so be patient with it, but it will get in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this through my needle since I like using the needle, it's a little bit quicker, and then start weaving with my pink. So as always, check where it went under there. Now I have to go over that one and under this one. Over, under, under. Pull it all through. So you can see that orange is gonna take a minute to finish up. So I just need to do a couple more to get that orange out of there, and the pink will start. Over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under. So once that knot gets incorporated, you can see my pink finally started, just push the knot underneath. And then when you come around for your second round of weaving with this color, that knot will just get hidden under. So I'm just gonna push it down. And once I come around, it's gonna just trap it in there. So I'm gonna go around one more time. So then as you cross the path of that knot and as you pull that string tight, so you see I've just passed it, I'm gonna pull this in tight. I'm just gonna make sure that I tuck that knot underneath and then pull this tight underneath the knot. And it should, like I said, traps that knot underneath there and you don't even see it anymore. So I'll keep going with this pink. I do want to show you what would happen if you accidentally skipped a line. So you can, like I said, weave as much as you want. If you want this to be a big, thick piece of pink, keep going a bunch. If you want it to be just one or two rows, you can switch colors, and you can switch colors as many times as you want. But like I said, be careful to make sure you're keeping that pattern up. So like I said, I always go under, over, under, over. I'm gonna show you what happens if you accidentally skip one. So let's say I went over these two instead of going over and under one of them, and that's gonna mess up the pattern. So I'm gonna pull this tight, and you can already see what it's doing. It just skipped over those two and it's kind of making a mess now. And you'll notice it's gonna do that with the rest of them now because I messed up the pattern. So as I weave like normal now, over, under, because I think that, you know, I'm doing this right and I didn't realize I skipped one. See how these two match now? They're touching. That should not be the case. It should be more like a basket where one's over, one's under, one's over, one's under, but these are both over, over. And it's gonna keep doing that all the way around. So the second that you notice that everything is touching and the pattern looks off, again, see they're touching, that means you need to go back until you find where you messed up. So I like to just kind of take my needle off. I like to just pull the top one back until I notice all the strings are doing the right thing, they're in the right pattern. So I'm noticing, yep, these are still touching, so that's still not the right spot. Let's keep pulling. And I'm noticing these are still touching, so I gotta keep pulling. And here's where I would notice, oh, I went over 2 of them, so that's where I gotta pull it back to. So I just start over from that point. Now everything is fixed and I can proceed as normal. So that's basically all there is to circle weaving. You just keep doing that until you like how it looks. Let's pretend I'm done with mine. Obviously I would want to do much more, but once you're done, once you say, okay, this is good, I like how many times I've gone around, you're just gonna take your final piece of string and tie it off to one of these guys. So just like before, I'm gonna cut it just a little bit, leave some room for that knot. And I'm just going to tie off to this string right here that's underneath. So I'm just gonna go around the string, around the orange string, made a loop here, go behind the loop, and then just pull it tight. And you can tuck that underneath, and of course you can trim that as well once it's tucked underneath. And that's it, that's circle weaving. And you can, once you're done with this, remember that these 2 holes up here are for hanging it. So you can put screws through there, hang it up on the wall, or just prop it up against something, have something cool. Some people will put strings that come down and hang beads off of it. You could do that with those 2 ends if you wanted to. But that's it. That is circle weaving. So if you guys have any questions as you guys work on these throughout the summer, feel free to leave a comment. I'll try my best to respond to any questions, but there's a ton of circle weaving videos out there to watch, so feel free to go watch those. And yeah, have fun weaving, guys.